And we are live. Thank you for joining us. Another Super Galactic Saturday. I'm Jerry Sr. with Jerry Jr.
Good morning.
And we're here on this beautiful Saturday morning. It's summertime, August. School's going to be starting soon, I guess, for a lot of people. Thank God those days are over for us. but
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, beautiful day today. It was actually kind of cool this morning, but now it's warmed up quite a bit. It feels really warm out there. So LA is heating up, right? But yeah, we got a few things we're going to talk about today. First and foremost, you want to do the trailers first? I think we should do the trailers, and then we can talk about we saw Naked Gun. That
Yeah,
was,
that makes sense.
and then there's some other things we want to talk about. So yeah, let's look at a couple of trailers. And actually, one. Well, I'll do uh, I'll do the Chinese trailer first. Yeah, we'll talk about the other one next, right?
The Chinese trailer. Oh, are you talking about
The kickboxing one.
oh, I am what I oh, you're
Yeah,
talking about I don't know
yeah.
if it was that a trailer or was that just a bunch of cool fight scenes?
Well, it's kind of it's a teaser for the I guess the series or the movie that's coming out. So yeah, but it
Well, I'm pretty sure it came out already.
I think it has come out, right.
It
But
came out last year.
it did. I thought this was new. I thought this
Some
came out
fights
this year.
from I Am What I Am 2. Great underrated animated
Oh, for
movie, China
2024. Oh,
2024.
I didn't even catch that. Well, let's check it
Yeah.
out anyway because it caught my eye and I thought, man, that
I mean,
looks.
I agree. I'm just I just
Yeah,
think I think we're just missed.
yeah. I think you're right because this
We're
came out
still
of
missing
nowhere
out.
for me.
It's
I
not
was
in
like,
America.
so yeah, I don't think there's a U.S. release. That's for sure. Yeah. So let's check it
Why did they make it so small?
Yeah, I mean,
That was awesome.
that looks amazing. Yeah, I was like,
That was the coolest thing I've ever
it's not
seen.
even that it's because it's clearly not photo real, but it's pretty close. It has this sort of hyper realism.
Well, it's kind
It's
of
really
like it's
stylized,
kind
which
of
I like. So
well, it's kind of like Street Fighter 6, where it's a stylized realism
yeah,
where
yeah,
everything's high fidelity, but you can still tell the characters are still stylized in
yeah,
a way that
exactly. Yeah,
resembles like
and
anime or
but the
something.
animation is spectacular. It's really good. Like it's very fluid and there's a lot of believability with the movement. So and
Yeah,
you can
this
tell
looks awesome.
they're having a lot of fun with it. And this is a Chinese production. It apparently came out in 2024.
Yeah, so the
It's not a
original movie is
game, it's
called the original movie is called well in Chinese is called Lion Boy 2, and the first movie came out in 2021 apparently, and it's an action comedy drama. So I imagine it's probably similar to like, well, I mean, I the only comparison I can make is the Stephen Chow because that's the only, but it's uh
like
it's
the art, but
one of the things that I found interesting is apparently there was a bit of controversy with the movie because all the Asian people are designed to look like Asian people. Well, all the Chinese people were designed to look like Chinese people. They don't look like anime characters. A trailer for I Am What I Am attracted controversy on Weibo for being offensive, doing due to perceived exaggerated slanted eyes of the Chinese characters. That was their complaint.
okay.
Yeah, producer Zhang Miao, who I'm guessing is Chinese, defended the character design as aesthetic confidence as opposed to a traditional Western design of Asian characters in animation. So, like I said,
Fair
the
enough.
director wanted the Chinese people to look like Chinese people. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't
I
think
don't either. I mean, I'm not Chinese or Asian, but they look
I'm
funny.
not sure who was offended by this, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't
I'm
see how this is offensive. They
a
look,
made in China movie being offensive to Chinese.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Who knows what the logic like is? But this looks really cool. So
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna look for it. Hopefully, it's at least subtitled. Um, Look, I got to be honest. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out of China. China's getting on the bandwagon for a lot of anime and feature films.
I
Like
mean, yeah, there was just
China, not, they are putting their best foot forward with this stuff. So
well, yeah, there's another animated movie that was just that's I don't know when it came out. I'm pretty sure it's new, but it's called Neza 2, and it's
yeah,
another animated
about
movie.
that. Yeah, exactly. And I don't even think it hit some serious box office numbers, but it's only been released in China and maybe a
Yeah,
few.
it came out this year.
I don't even think it's been released in the West at all.
No, it hasn't.
So I only know about it because of social media, basically, because I follow Katsuka and they're all things animation globally, right? So
Yeah.
it's including this particular property. So it's kind of interesting. They're putting out some really beautiful work, and it's making it's it's making tons of money, and they're
Well, I
not.
mean, just to give you another comparison, this is what the other Chinese movie looks like.
Yeah, look at this. This is Kung Fu Panda, you know,
Times 10.
times 10. Yeah. So this fight scene alone, the choreography is awesome, right? Um,
Yeah. I
it's like
mean,
big time. So they're going hard, and it's kind of interesting because the dynamic is they don't really need the West per se, so far as making money, right? Um, but then the inverse is not true. We need China, and when I say we, I mean production companies in the West. They have to release in China and Asian countries to have a high global box office. Because usually the global box office is larger than domestic. At least that's been the case in the last probably decade. Maybe a couple of decades. Right?
yeah.
It used to be the other way around, but now, or at least in parity to each other, right? But now they rely on those Chinese dollars. And that's why Disney kowtows to China so much, and the NBA as well. The NBA is, it's not just relegated to Hollywood per se. It's also in sports. It's like they're in bed with China because they need those dollars. They need that money. So it's kind of interesting. And now China's producing their own original content, right? Because didn't they get in trouble years ago when they tried to do their own like Disneyland? And it was like knockoffs of actual Disneyland properties or something like that. It was kind of interesting.
When was that?
Oh, it was years ago, like decades ago. And I think that's part of what led to Disneyland going to China and actually putting out
Oh,
a
okay.
park. Yeah. So it was kind of funny. But so China's never seen as, sort of the source of originality. I'll put it that way. And now, here they are producing these beautiful productions, that are making billions of dollars in the box office, right? And they're not even releasing in the states. So um, that's impressive. Like them or not, that's amazing, and it means we got to step up. And also, and you parallel that with the rise of the popularity of anime and manga in the West as well, right? And that includes books that are produced in like from Korea or Taiwan or other Asian countries, and also includes French titles as well. Like and like anything is a lot of it's not originating in America, right? So
Yeah.
um, it's kind of fascinating, and I think it's a signal to us, like we got to step up our game. They're raising the bar. It's kind of like what happened with the Olympics and the basketball team, right? Like we never had a gold medal. Then we got the dream team, right?
Oh yeah,
And then not too long, a couple of Olympics later, and it's kind of like other foreign teams stepped up, right? They got better talent and hired, better players. They out of those players worked harder, got better, and
yeah,
now like the U.S. team wasn't winning all the time. Like, they were giving us a run for our money, and I think that needs to happen in reverse with America, where we're seeing beautiful stuff being produced in from Japan and China, etc. We got to step up.
yeah.
We got to do better, to tell better stories, produce better art, and compete. And and I think that's great, and I hope that does happen. I think it's happening in the indie space when it comes to comics. I think in the indie space, they're definitely holding their own. There's a lot of guys that are doing some really really cool stuff, and they're on par with a lot of manga that's out there. So, um, and that's kind of the beauty of the indie space, is you can push yourself and do more, and you know without worrying about corporate filters, right? So it's interesting. But yeah, I wanted to take a look at that because I'm like, man, that's fascinating. Like that looks amazing, and yeah, it makes me want to check it out just to see, kind of see what the story's all about. So hopefully,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty nuts.
there'll be a release. I'm hoping it's at least subtitle would be nice, but if it's dubbed, that'd be even better, right? So, but yeah, that looked pretty awesome. So,
I mean,
so
it
that
depends on who dubs it. I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I've seen Kung Fu Hustle. When I originally watched it, it was on a dollar store VHS, and it was
yeah,
all in Chinese. So, I mean,
yeah, that's right.
it was still, it's funny. It was
It's
a funny
still good.
movie
Yeah, it was
regardless.
great. Yeah.
So, I
So
think, so, yeah.
I mean, and to be honest, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the dub really does it justice anyway, right? So
No, no.
it's okay, but yeah, the original subtitle was much better. So um, I don't know, everything just kind of lands better, like a lot of the jokes, right? So
Yeah, exactly. So,
um, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
I
so
don't think
hopefully
it's
they'll
necessary.
subtitle it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also wanted to talk about another surprise. Well, surprise, basically. uh, a video game release for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh my
Rank it
gosh.
as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This, I don't know. This to me came out of nowhere. I was like, "What? Like, where? What?"
Coming this summer.
So yeah, let's
I love the Christmassy time of year, where young and old gather round to share one beloved Christmas story.
My nose, sir?
Wahoo!
Cute, she said.
Ain't that something? Just like always, it takes a special light to guide the way.
Rudolph, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
Looks like Rudolph and his pals are at it again, always finding fun round every snowy corner.
We're sticking together.
Rudolph, I think you're cute.
Yukon Cornelius scores again! Wobby!
Never seen a talking snowman before?
That beautiful, wonderful nose!
It's my nose. It keeps giving us away.
Some lights will never flicker. They're made to shine. As for the rest of the story, he went down in history.
bro. What's happening? Like,
What's happening?
not only did they make a game out of this classic. I mean, it is a classic, right? It's a modern classic, but it actually looks really cool. It,
I don't know. I mean, okay,
it looks
so
cool. It looks fun. I mean,
it
definitely not for older audience. I mean, I think kids will love playing this game.
to me it looks like I don't know. So I grew up with the GameCube, and there was a lot of. This looks like a GameCube game for starters, which isn't inherently bad, but it also looks like it reminds me of those movie tie-in games that they used to come out with on the
Yeah,
GameCube
it
and the
definitely has that
PS2,
vibe. Yeah,
and those were of very varying quality, right? Like
yeah.
I
It's
had on the
never
GameCube.
good.
Um, like I had a Monsters Inc. one that was essentially just a
I remember
dodgeball game. That one was weird. I had the
Toy Story
Ratatouille,
had.
the video game. That great. Give me wrong. There are some good ones. Buzz Lightyear, or Toy Story on the N64. That one was good. Toy Story 2 for N64 and PlayStation. That one was good. Um, but like they just kind of the more they came out with these movie tie-in games, the sort of worse they got. So this kind of feels like that. Now, granted, I will say that I do think that it's cool that you get to play as not just Rudolph, but all the Misfit toys and
Yeah,
Cornelius and
the other
stuff like that.
characters.
That actually looks cool, and there's actual co-op. But it also looks, I don't know, it looks unfinished. Like
Well, I
I would have been nice if they would have leaned more into the stop motion aesthetic.
yeah. Well, I think they did.
I
Um,
don't think they did. I think
try,
the actual models look on point, but the
yeah, the
actual
models.
animation just looks
Yeah,
like
I kind of wonder.
PS2 beta
Yeah, it looks
animation.
like this is something that would have came out 20 years ago,
Yeah,
and you would have been like, okay. But today it's kind of like, why are you putting out 20-year-old
yeah. The,
graphics?
the only reason this hit my radar was because A, it's August, and
Right. Well,
B,
they got to get it in early for Christmas, right?
yeah, but I
Christmas
don't know.
starts earlier and earlier every year.
Yeah, Mech Commissioner. The SpongeBob ones were better. The SpongeBob games were actually fire. That's the crazy part. They're actually
As they
really
should
good.
be, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, they should be, but the thing is that when it comes to like movie or cartoon tie-in games, where it's like it's usually a cash grab, where it's like we're not gonna bother making a good game. We're just gonna do the bare minimum and then slap the branding on it. They didn't do that with SpongeBob.
right.
With a lot of the early SpongeBob games, like the SpongeBob movie game is good. The SpongeBob there was a SpongeBob game that got a remaster. That's
Really?
the crazy part.
Okay.
Yeah, like like who would have thought that a SpongeBob? Yeah, it was Battle for Bikini Bottom. Who would have thought that a licensed game would get a remaster in today's day? That doesn't happen. That would be like if they remade I don't know ET for the Atari. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like why would you do that? But they did it, and it was great. Like there's an active fan base for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and it's pretty insane. But so it is possible that this could end up as a good game, but I feel like I said, I like the models. All the characters look
Yeah.
great.
They look
I
good.
just think the overall what they show from the gameplay, it looks like it. I mean, a pretty standard 3D platformer, pretty
Yeah, it doesn't
and
look like anything special or like
yeah,
unique per se. It's basically just playing off the themes from the actual show, right? The actual movie, uh,
yeah.
and that's fine. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I guess what I'm surprised about is like, is this even relevant today? Like in the same sense that like a SpongeBob or a Ratatouille. You know what I mean? Like, are
I don't know. I
people
don't.
clamoring, to watch these
No,
special?
they're not.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
we're in the age of streaming. You can, I'm in YouTube specifically. I know like certain things kind of went viral, a lot of Rankin Bass stuff, like the Year Without Santa Claus. right? The Mr.
Yeah, the Miser Brothers were pretty popular.
Yeah, I know that kind of went viral because for nostalgia's sake, things like that, and I'm sure a lot of Rudolph stuff as well. It's just,
Yeah,
is it on the level of, hey, let's make a game? You know what I mean? Like, let's make an entire game based off of a classic Christmas series that you know the previous generation used to watch. But does the current generation, are they, do these things even air on regular television anymore?
Dad. Let me show you the only relevant part of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Hold on a second. So, do you remember the elf, the dentist elf, and all that stuff?
Yes, right.
Yeah. So this has become a meme, and that's all I can really. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, what's his name? Hermé or whatever. Hermé.
I don't know. That's it.
What?
That's a meme. You don't remember where he yells at him? Where he's like, "Why
I know I
weren't
do,
you
but
at
what
that?"
is that of me?
Oh yeah, there's another one. It's funny.
Someday I'd like to be a dentist.
Why weren't you at elf practice?
Someday.
Yeah,
Man,
that's it. That's the most. That's the most relevant Rudolph has been
that's
in the
so random.
past.
Okay.
I don't know, 50
Yeah,
years.
that's weird. That's, yeah.
Well,
So
because it's a funny scene.
I'm a bit, yeah, surprised. I mean, pleasantly surprised, I guess. Like, okay, you know, but yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Once it's fully released and everything. Um, see how it's received. I guess. See what the sales are. It's just, this was completely, what did they say? This was not on my bingo card, right? To
No, no, it was not.
So even in the comments, somebody actually said, "Why weren't you at elf practice?" So yeah, I
Oh
guess
my
it's
gosh! I told you.
oh my god, that's crazy. So that means if this does well, right? Then there's going to be Rudolph's Shiny New Year. Um,
You see, that would have been a cooler game. That would have been a cooler game because you
Snowman.
get the time travel.
What else? A Year Without Santa Claus, of course. Santa Claus is coming to town. Basically, all the Rankin Bass.
Well, I don't think you could make a game out of all these movies. The
Uh,
only
hey,
the only
they're gonna
game.
try. If they made a game out of this, they're gonna try.
I mean, listen. The only. Well, yeah, everything can be made as a meme. Mecha Missionary. That is true, but we're talking about like a game. Like the only Rankin Bass special that would actually make a cool video game would be the Rudolph's New Year one. That's because he actually time travels
I guess. I mean,
and he
sure.
teams up with other people.
But
What do you mean? Sure,
no, I'm
you
not.
team up with
I'm not
a knight and a
disagreeing. I'm just
whale.
saying it's just as valid as this. I
There's
mean,
an actual bad guy.
I mean, I
I
guess.
mean, like I said, I think it's cool. I think, and to be fair, this is I want to say this is an indie studio. If anybody knows more about Headless Chicken Games, that's the studio working on
Okay.
uh,
I
this
wonder if
game.
it has to do with copyright too. Um, Perhaps.
Oh, you think it's a Steamboat Willie situation?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily the public domain, but it could be that it's not as expensive to to get the
Yeah,
license for it. And maybe it was a lot easier. You know. Um, so I mean, still, I'm here for it. Hopefully it's good.
yeah.
But
Mecha Missionary said, "Where's my Thundercats video game?"
yeah, I was about to say, because Rankin Bass produced Thundercats and all that, the
Oh
Silverhawks,
yeah, I forgot about that.
so they were a big part of my childhood. like more ways than I realized. Yeah, Rankin
Yeah,
Bass were um, right front and center. With the holiday specials, and then Thundercats. Oh man, get out of here! Thundercats and Silverhawks, those were my favorites. So them and Filmation, apparently, right?
yeah, yeah.
Cornerstones of television animation for kids during the '80s. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Definitely for nostalgia's sake, I could see a lot of people getting it. You know, just for that reason, just going, oh man, yeah. Like just to be able to jump in this game and just kind of live this movie a little bit. And So I don't know. That's interesting. Like I said, this is fascinating to see. I hope it does well. I really do. Hope it's a good game. I hope it's popular. I mean, it is specifically Christmas themed, obviously. So that kind of limits its, appeal. I think, like
Um,
I don't know, just holidays.
I don't think it. I don't think it does. I mean, it's not like people. I mean, listen, people talk about Halloween all year round. Nightmare Before Christmas is popular all year round. I
Fair.
don't see why Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
I guess you're
can't
right.
be
Yeah,
popular. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Good point. So, but yeah, I agree with you, Make a Missionary. Where's our Thundercats and Silverhawks game? I mean, let's just do a game and just cross them over, right?
Well, it's funny you say that
Uh,
because there's actually a fighting game that's pretty similar to that.
to what?
So there's a hold on, I said toy fighting game. So there was a game that got announced uh, 7 months ago. I think it's out already, and it's called Knockoff, and it's
Knockoff. That sounds familiar. There's
yeah, it's pretty awesome. Basically, it's a fighting game where you play as action figures, but you'll see what I mean.
okay.
Nostalgia reignites cherished memories from our childhood, such as reminiscing about our favorite toys. Among all the exciting playthroughs, one question perpetually lingers. Who truly wins as the strong? Brace yourself, for the answer is about to unfold.
So they're fighting like around the house in the backyard.
Yeah,
That's hilarious. All the places we used to play with action.
yeah, exactly. And all the toys are based off of like Battle Sharks, and you've
Yeah,
got Giant Robo and
He-Man one.
E-Man, obviously Street Sharks. I guess that's Street Sharks already, but yeah,
Yeah, that's funny. It's clever. I like that.
yeah.
This looks
This
fun.
is exactly that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just throw them all in the game and let them like fight each other or team up or whatever. That would be fun. I think that would be awesome. Right? Thundercats, Silverhawks, Street Sharks, Tiger Sharks. Uh, throwing He-Man. You know,
But yeah,
seriously, that'd be hilarious. So that's pretty clever. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Um, See this, and this is what I mean. Independent thinking leads to cool stuff.
well, I mean, it's that mentality of fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why
We need more of that.
stuff like this. Yeah. So and it's like I don't know. For some reason, it's like the bigger they get, the dumber they get. So I don't know.
It is what it is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Like a missionary, Meziger Z toys were removed in stores due to choking hazards. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, they were.
remember that? Yeah, I had one.
That's
I had
funny.
one of those giant ones that had that was on wheels. You could like roll, like push it, roll it around. Um, yeah, it had like little pieces that you can pop on. Like its little red crown thing, whatever, the little ship. So yeah, and a lot of those were die cast metal too. Um, and that was a part of it too. I think that's why they one of the reasons why they stopped doing die-cast metal for a lot of toys. Because I remember every Tonka toy was die-cast metal. Every Tonka truck, whatever it was metal. It was not plastic. So then one year they're just gone. There's no more, except for the Hot Wheels. The Hot Wheels have always been die-cast metal. So, but I guess because they're one form factor, there's no like pieces per se. They got away with it. I don't know. So, but yeah, Messenger Z was dope. I used to watch it in Spanish on the Spanish
Oh
channel
my gosh.
because it wasn't on regular network television until like maybe the late '80s or '90s, and then it was called Transor Z, I think. so they like
Yeah, yeah.
and gave it like new music.
Well, no,
So
I believe you because the first time I ever watched Dragon Ball was in Spanish on Telemundo. So
yeah, yeah, I watched
that's
it on
hilarious.
channel 52. It was the same channel that I would watch the lucha wrestling and stuff. Like it was always wrestling and Japanese anime. That was a channel.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah, why are you watching the Mexican channel? Oh, for Dragon Ball.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
What?
Yeah, watch
For
it.
Mazinger Z.
And it's like and it's just speaking Spanish, but I didn't care. I just want even Speed Racer.
In between episodes of El Chavo, the
Yeah.
Ocho.
Then you watch wrestling and you're like, oh, Mexican people wrestle too. So you watch that,
Amazing.
you're like that's fascinating.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, America, I don't know, it's a weird history of a lot of this stuff.
Well, a lot of it, I mean, a lot of that had to do with, I think it had to do with the cost of broadcasting. I think it was
Yeah,
cheaper
it's
for
syndicate.
anime companies to syndicate in
Yeah,
South America.
yeah,
So you had a lot of
it was a better deal.
Mexico and South America's, yeah, got anime before North America, or yeah, before North America did. Like, yeah, the Shogun Warriors, or I think, or
Was
were
it
they the
Shogun Warriors later? Ronin Warriors.
yeah Ronin Warriors? I think it's what it's
That's
called.
what I'm wondering because I remember Ronin Warriors. Uh,
Yeah, I think we're thinking of the same thing. But
they
yeah,
did
Ronin Warriors.
take it and Americanize it.
Uh,
Ronin Warrior like had his own theme song. I
yeah,
did that with like Sailor Moon. They did that with a lot of Japanese. They would Americanize it, give just like like Battle of the Planets, right? Scotch,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, they always just Americanized, so it's kind of funny.
But particularly like shows like Mazinger Z and Saint Seiya, I know is big in Mexico.
Yeah,
Um, and of course Dragon Ball. I don't know. Did you hear about the when Toei had to like uh, talk to like the Mexican government about illegally streaming episodes of Dragon Ball Super?
serious? No, I did not. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, because yeah, it was nuts. Like they made a whole event out of watching the Tournament of Power. It was like everybody was getting together to watch a football game, but it was Dragon Ball.
That's
It was
hilarious.
nuts.
Listen, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You never know, man. Like the way things, you know, it's kind of wild. And these corporations, they don't know what they're doing. We think they know what they're doing, but they really don't know what they're doing. But speaking of mega massive corporations, I also wanted to talk about this. Was that everything? I think that was everything, right? I wanted to talk about
Talk
this.
about. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Uh,
you showed me this a few days ago. The Genie 3. I tried
yeah,
it out. I saw there was one particular trailer on here that was like a third person simulated world. I think lower down. It's lower down on the web page. I don't know if this trailer includes it.
well, let's see. Let me. I'll take a look. So these are all like comparing
It's the one on the left.
and
It's the one
stuff.
on the left.
Yeah, but they're comparing their other models, right?
I
To
didn't even know they had this. I didn't even know they had other models.
yeah, they do VO and VO3 now. Um, see, so right now this is very popular for video generation, and
Mm.
it's generation three now. And then Genie 3, I guess, is a newer model, but it's for world generation. So it's only in 720p, but allows you to navigate and all this stuff. It can do longer duration. So, like for example, with VL3, you can only do like 8 seconds or so at a time, right? Maybe 10, I think, if you use like Gemini, which is basically a, a total chat model that has VL3 in it, right? So, like just like Chat GPT has um, OpenAI in it, right? For image generation, right? So this beats out their previous models because it kind of does everything, and it allows for multiple minutes, and it's real time So you're saying it's this one?
Yeah, it's the one on the left. I don't know if you could
I
full
can't make
screen
it
that.
bigger though. Yeah, there's no full screen.
Oh, can you zoom in?
Let me try.
Because I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know if they're doing it at real time or
Like
if
this
it's
one. Yeah. See.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if they're doing that real time or if it's like a video. Because when I
Well,
tried it out,
according to them, this is real time. Like, so what they're doing is here, for example, they're just showing you the real time model. Sorry about that. And this is what's happening. So someone is controlling here, right, the up, down, left, right, and it's correlating with the simulation, and it's rendering whatever needs to come next in real time. That's basically what's happening. So these are just examples of that, but I don't think this is available yet. Like
we'll
commercial.
see.
These are all is
I'd be impressed if it was something that I could try out.
yeah, it would be nice.
Because you could easily fake the
There's probably
interactivity because they
well,
added
that's
the
fair.
arrow
That's
keys.
fair. That's a fair point. So,
Yeah.
but I just thought, look, this like there's a one. I don't know if it's here where the guy was painting a room. Let's see, there's another one. They look kind of slow. Yeah, yeah. See, there. It's only 720p, so it's kind of weird.
No, I see.
But yeah, it's just they're showing you how they're navigating. So there's one. I wish I could find it. Here's another one. Now this is a fantasy world, which is that's what I was saying. Like when it comes to gaming, like this is like if this can make it to market, right? I mean, this is amazing because it's not just creating a world, right? Um, it's generating a world in real time,
Hmm.
right? Based on your parameters, based on your prompting or whatever, right? And the thing is, from what I understand, there was another video they showed um, where you can prompt and add things into the environment. So even as the environment is interactive, you can prompt and then add something else into the environment while you're interacting. So it's pretty crazy, and this is highly stylized, you know. So I was just kind of like, yo, this can't be real, you know, like it's just generating a world in real time. Um, so because then all you have to do is set up just basic parameters, right?
Yeah.
And just set it on repeat. And then the question is, as it gets better, it can learn. You can like create your own language, large language model of the world, right? So mountains are always this, hills and valleys are this, water is this, these type of flora, plants, buildings, and then it's just going to generate based on that input. And you don't have to always say, I need a blank here. It's going to know to just do that, right? Like you can. I wonder if you like how granular can you get with the programming, where based on the character's behavior, you generate this, right? So if the character turns left, generate a futuristic cityscape. And if the character goes right, generate a lush green forest with a dirt pathway. You know what I'm saying? Like these these if then type of situations, right? Um, that's wild. So yeah, and
I mean,
obviously
they definitely look cool,
AR or VR.
like rendering wise. Like I said, if this
Yeah,
is supposed to be interactive, like until they put out like an actual thing that I could interactive, because they had something when I checked out the website
yeah. This is what I was
that
talking.
I thought was interactive, but it was like I don't know how to describe it. Basically, it felt like a choose your own adventure type of thing where like you picked a prompt like it was so for example it was a rendering of like a farmer's market and here we go, it's this one right here.
Okay, go ahead. You gonna share?
Yeah, So I was thinking, oh, am I able to walk around the? So this one it looks like it's a bakery.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, am I able to walk around the bakery on my own? No, I have to choose a prompt. So it says approach the mixer, and it just plays a video of you walking towards the mixer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So that's
but
not
if I,
real time then.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? But it's like if you're trying to advertise, oh yeah, we could do real time rendering interactivity. This isn't really how you would sell me
Because
on.
you can do that currently. I mean, I guess
You could do that with a camera.
the biggest thing is well, you can just generate an image and then interact with it. And it creates a 3D
I
space.
mean that too, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, but you're right. If it's not real time, then don't say it's real time.
yeah, so that's my only that's my big criticism.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a lot to me. That's akin to false advertising, right?
Yeah,
You know, it's like, yeah, if it's not even uh, real time interaction, like what are you really doing then? Like why is this even a thing right now?
because that sounds neat, and other
Yeah.
people have played with that idea before. Like remember that Mario game I got you for was it Christmas or your birthday? Yeah, I think it was your birthday.
Birthday, yeah.
Yeah. So there was a so for those of you who don't know, who aren't savvy to internet nonsense, there was ARG that was really popular a few years back called B3313, and basically it was based off of the idea that um, it was basically an urban myth that there's a secret AI, generative AI in Super Mario 64 in the prototype that randomly generates levels in the game. And somebody actually made a game based off of that myth. And like it was supposed to be like it was supposed to be like a horror theme. Like the AI was like trapped in the game and was trying to kill you and stuff like that. But let me see if I get trailer. But yeah, but the basic idea was that it was randomly generated uh, Mario levels. Now, obviously, the illusion got broken eventually, but when this first came out, it was pretty believable because, like, when you play the game, like, remember, Dad, when you were playing the game and you beat like it started off as like normal Mario 64, then you beat Bowser, and
Yeah.
it suddenly teleported you to a completely random, castle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it would just take you to these weird rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was very weird.
it was weird, but that was the point. So like this, yeah, there we go. So this came out, oh yeah, last year, the full game. But yeah, so yeah, if you've been on the internet long enough, you've probably seen this. But yeah, the idea was that it was like I said, I've already explained it. But yeah, so like if they were to come out with something similar to this, where
Yeah.
it's truly like a game with
Oratory. Yeah.
randomly generated levels,
Yeah, exactly. That would
that would
be.
be cool.
Yeah, I agree. That
Because
was.
what they did with this game, because it was, in my opinion, this game was pretty immersive because it felt like everything was like randomly generated. Like it really feels like this game is huge when you first play it when you play it for
It
the
is. You
first
can
time.
get lost. You can get lost in it, for sure. Um,
So if they were to actually do something to this scope with AI, then yeah, I'd be
that would be
impressed.
impressive. Yeah, I agree. But and just reading the site, it tells us it's even acknowledging, yeah, there's still limitations. Like it can't really go exploring too deep into the space, so it's kind of like limited in how far or wide it can go, the range. And you do have to prompt you have to prompt it to move, meaning you have to do like text prompts. So I'm guessing the examples they probably did text prompts for the arrows, and then it was just a matter of right arrow means this, left arrow, so they probably add an additional layer outside of the actual AI generation, right, to allow for those that navigation, right? So it's not true real time yet. Obviously, they're striving for it. So I just thought, man, this is crazy. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
it's kind of
Also,
fascinating to see how far they've gotten.
yeah. Also, I've talked to a lot of, well, I've talked to a few like actual game devs, and for the most part, the general consensus is that they're not really for AI, um, and a big part of it is, well, one criticism I heard is that um, it doesn't really mesh well with the I guess the work pipeline. Like, I remember someone was telling
Yeah,
me a story about how someone took one of their designs, and like the guy in charge like ran it through like some kind of AI generator to make a 3D model, but the 3D model didn't have like all the necessary like it was just off. Like you couldn't rig it. The
yeah,
triangle count was off.
yeah. The polygon is really bad. Polygon count,
Yeah,
the resolution. It's not now. This is maybe a few years ago. Now, like Mesh AI is a lot better. That's one of the 3D AI 3D generators. It's a lot better, cleaner geometry, but it's still limited. It's not. It doesn't flow into your pipeline very well. It doesn't generate perfect models, right? It takes several attempts to get the right model when you could have just jumped in the blender and did it yourself by hand. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's getting there. It's getting better, but it's still not. And that's what I've been contending with a lot of people, especially artists, is AI is not going to necessarily replace your job. It's just going to become another tool, just like Photoshop and Illustrator and a lot of typesetting programs like PageMaker, Quark Express, etc. They didn't replace artists. They now certain positions and roles did change and evolve, and some were eliminated, right? But not as many as a lot of people thought. And so traditional typesetters, for example, just transitioned to become full blown graphic artists, right? um, because they were already artists. Right? So they didn't stop being an artist. They just shifted from just, focusing on typesetting and lettering to, well, now I am expanding that to digital graphics and et cetera. So it's really about adapting. Not You're not necessarily being eliminated, but you are going to have to adapt to the tools, right? And once the tools are refined, and they're not yet, like Chat and Claude and Mesh AI and all this stuff, they're not refined, right? That's why there's so many, because they all have their strengths and weaknesses, but all of them are kind of janky. And when it comes to real time actual production, they're all garbage. Like all AI apps right now are garbage. If you want to like make a serious production, and I'm serious, you want to make something that's commercially viable, right? You're just producing garbage, because, and I'm not saying it because it's AI. I'm just saying because the AI is not really commercially viable yet on that level where you can just you can just prompt something and it spits out an image or a video, and you can use it as is, or you can take it and do very little editing to make it commercial. Like, no, you're still going in and having to do a lot of VFX, Photoshop layering, tweaking, crop,
yeah,
all these different things, right? Editing to get it to be commercial. So, and in many ways, you're putting in more work versus if you just started from scratch and did your normal pipeline. You know what I mean? It's like, with few exceptions, of course, but it's not enough to. That's why when people say like a lot of people are being laid off, like a lot of animators are being laid off, a lot of tech people, and they're saying it's because of AI. That's nonsense. They're not laying you off because of AI. They're laying you off because they're not making money. Simple as that. They're simply not profitable. Like all these production companies, large and small, are laying off artists and production people because they're not making money. They're not profitable. It's just like who was it? Rhythm and Hughes years ago when they worked on like Titanic or something, right? And they won an Oscar for VFX, but at the same time they were dissolving as a company and going bankrupt. Why? Because regardless of how much many billions or billions of dollars were spent on the movie, right? They didn't make enough to stay alive as a company. Period. They weren't profitable, right? So if you're not profitable as a company, guess what? That company can't afford to keep paying you a salary. That's literally how it works, right? And the fact that people still miss that is astounding to me. Like I was just watching a debate about the WNBA. They were wearing those shirts saying "Pay us what we're worth," right, or whatever, or what we're owed, or whatever it is. And
Oh,
and there was obviously a point counterpoint, and the counterpoint was simply they're not profitable. The league is not profitable enough to pay you more money, right? And then the counter argument is always, well, the revenue was this, and game attendance was high, the highest ever, and blah blah blah.
right.
And
But is it higher than the NBA?
no, it's not even about that. You don't even have to compare it to the NBA. You just simply look at the raw numbers, and the numbers say this: if I'm not making X amount of dollars to cover overhead, right? And that includes advertising. That includes paying for your locker rooms and paying for your equipment and paying for transportation to and from games, paying for your personal trainers, paying your coaches and your assistant coaches. And do you understand? That's all overhead. And if that's
Yeah,
barely being covered, if at all, your salary is not, and that includes your salary. Your salary is not going up, right? Because the whatever revenue we bring in doesn't cover the overhead, right? We're still in the red. And you know this because the NBA subsidizes the WNBA by like, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So
yeah,
without that subsidy, they wouldn't survive. They wouldn't even exist. So if you take away that subsidy and you can still, be profitable, right? Then you may have an argument. But the reality is, if they remove that money, the WNBA would just dissolve, right? And that's what's going on with every other industry is they're not profitable. And now you can argue about like CEO salaries and things like, yeah, that's I agree with that. Yeah, sometimes it's like, look, cut your salary by a couple of million. Keep essential
yeah,
people. That's a fair argument. So I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying straight. Is if you're a owner, a business owner, a CEO, an executive, whatever, regardless of what your salary is, right? You're looking at the bottom line and saying, I want to retain my salary. I also want the board of directors and the stakeholders, the stockholders, to be profitable and hopefully as profitable as last year, if not more profitable. Therefore, the way to make that happen is to increase revenue. Well, we tried to increase revenue and that didn't work. So we made pretty much the same as last year, or we made less. So that means we got to trim the fat. So you're going to start saying who's essential and who's not. What roles can we live without? What roles can we double up where like, well, you're doing this, but you can also do this too, right? And that's what happens. That's just reality. That's not corporate greed and all this other nonsensical buzz terms that people like to use. It's like, believe it or not, every company and business owner out there is not just greedy and corrupt and evil. That's not even that's just not reality. Okay, um, they're trying to stay in business. So because without the
yeah,
business, then the people that remain that are still employed, they won't be employed either, right? So it's like it's not AI. It's not because they're replacing workers with AI, chat bots, and it's like no, they're not doing that. I'm sure that like some companies are leveraging AI, to a degree to figure out, well, maybe this can shave off, excess costs, right? You know,
Yeah.
like AI chats that provide some type of customer service, right? We've all seen that where we call somewhere and it's just a robotic voice, right? So, did that eliminate someone's job? Um, Maybe, most likely not, though. Right? It's just
Well, here's the thing, though. Even
adds
if it
another
did,
layer to customer service, right? So,
but that's the thing, though. Even if it did, it's one of those things where it's like technology is always going to take some type of replace some type of job, right? Like
yeah,
the car replaced the guys who drove horse and carriage.
right. That's exactly.
Street lights
Well,
replaced.
see, I'm going to stop you because
The,
I'm gonna argue and say no that it didn't. You know why?
why?
Because we have taxis.
Right.
We have this thing
Well, I'm
called
just saying that's a new job though.
right, but it's because of technology those jobs exist, right?
Yeah.
So the carriage driver became the taxi driver.
I mean that is
That's the
true.
point I'm making about in the creative space where you said like the Letraset guys, the guys that did or the guys that make mechanicals, right? At the press, they weren't really replaced. Their job was probably removed, right? Because we have better technology where we don't
Yeah.
need mechanicals in the same way. But all that meant was, well, now you're gonna do this instead, right?
Well,
Now
it
maybe
reminds me of
some guys were laid off, but I guarantee you, more likely than not, the people that are laid off, and I'm speaking in terms of specifically, was because they didn't adapt to the new technology.
yeah.
They refused to learn. Because I used to teach graphic design. I taught Photoshop and Illustrator, right? And I had guys that worked at like DreamWorks and Disney and other studios who took my classes because they were old school guys that learned old school graphic design and animation, right? And they were like, we're trying to adapt. So they learned Photoshop and they learned Illustrator. And they also took other classes like they learned Maya and all this, 3D programs. And guess what happened? They didn't lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like they kept their jobs. And if they were laid off, they had the skills and the knowledge now to go somewhere else and get a job.
Well,
You
I'm
know,
reminded of, and I know this is a movie, but remember Charlie and the
chocolate factory.
Willy Wonka? Yeah, the Johnny Depp one.
Yeah, yeah. I remember.
And it was funny because at the beginning of the movie, I think Charlie's dad worked at a toothpaste factory where his job was to put bottle caps on toothpaste, and his job got replaced by a robot. But
Yeah.
then by the end of the movie, he got a job fixing the bottle cap machine that replaced him.
Right, fixing the machine and put the cap right, and that's a great illustration, and that's what I'm saying. That's generally what happens, right? You have to adapt, right? And that's why, like I tell you guys, you and your brother, like learn AI, like understand it, learn about the technology behind it, like try to figure out how it can incorporate into what you're doing because at some point it's going to become just like a computer, right? And just like computer software, everyone has to learn how to do it, right? Like that's just like I see it all the time with where I work, where a lot of people don't. They're used to old school fax machines and printers and copy machines, and it's like, why are you doing that? Just make a PDF and email it. Like, oh well, I always make copies. It's like, why? You're just wasting paper and time when you just take the PDF and attach it to an email and send it to people, and then they can print it out on their personal computer, right? So that's all. It's like you're not willing to adapt, therefore you end up missing out or losing out, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's true for all the thousands of people laid off. Like it's very, everybody's going to be different, but in a general sense, AI is not replacing or taking your job. What's happening is the markets are changing, and you have to adapt to the markets. You have to. I wasn't all. I do websites. I build websites, right? I wasn't always a website person. In fact, I hated doing website. I hated like anything had to do with code. I was not a
I
code.
still hate
Yeah,
websites.
I was an artist. I wanted to draw and paint. right? And but I realized I had to be practical, so I learned graphic design. Right? I figured that's a happy medium. And then I learned computer graphics, right? So I learned traditional design, like I mentioned, lecture sets and things like that, mechanicals and all that. I learned that stuff, but then I realized, oh, but I got to learn computer graphics too, because that's where the future is, right? And sure enough, every design job I've ever had required me to learn or to know computer graphics, right? Gee, so you see, I saw the writing on the wall, and I read it and said, "Yes, let me learn this." And I didn't want to, but I did it. And then in the process of that, it's like, oh, here's this web stuff. That's the next sort of phase of things, right? And guess what? Every graphic designer out there, they'll tell you they have to know web. They have to understand, even if they're not building a website, they still have to understand the nature of it and what it is and how to design for it, right? So it's like it was inescapable. So I learned to do web design. I mean, you understand? Like I had to adapt, and that's kind of all that's happening is people have to adapt. But AI is not taking your job. I mean, if it ever does happen, where a literal robot, takes your job, right? Whatever that job is, it's not happening for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I I might be you and me might be long gone by the time that happens. Even as fast as technology is seems to be going right now, the pace is pretty rampant, right? But I think a lot of that is marketing and kind of an illusion being created where they make you think, oh, look how advanced they are, and it's like, well, as like over the last 5 years, right? There's been leaps and bounds with Chat GPT and all this AI stuff, right? We got video generation, right? That was a time when that wasn't even, it was just images. Now it's video, and it's like, okay, but yet and still, there's no mass adoption, no mass adoption of this, like not where we've seen anywhere, right? Like you see Grok, right? Okay, that's cool, but it's kind of like this sophisticated digital toy right now, right? Is anyone actually building a business using Grok? Maybe some social media people use it to create, text or, images for their screens, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's not this robust tool yet, like a Photoshop or After Effects or DaVinci Resolve or Unreal Engine and Blender, right? Like these are real tools that you build businesses on, like you make money with. With AI, people are trying to like, but a lot of this stuff is kind of scammy, right? Like learn to do AI and learn to create. It's like
I was like, what does that mean?
it's like, yeah, it's just kind of these propaganda style, get rich quick marketing companies that are doing it, right? It's not legitimate, like universities and schools per se. Now it is happening though. There are classes, right? There are things they are adapting and saying, let's start like leveraging AI. Let's start teaching it a little bit. Let's start discussing it. It is happening, but not on the scale that a lot of people keep claiming, I guess, like full
Yeah.
replacement. It's like, you're not being just like the kiosks, right? At
The
the
what?
fast food, the kiosks at the fast food places, or the grocery stores, the self checkout
Oh,
stuff, right? It's like, is that really replacing people? A lot of people getting tired of that, and they're not 100% reliable. They break down.
well, it's not that people are
That
getting tired of
delay break
self-checking
down.
kiosks. It's
No,
because
they
people
are.
keep.
Customers are getting tired of it. They don't like it. They want a person. Like I've seen it over and over again in the last few years. People
I
are like,
guess I've just seen people take advantage of it to steal things.
right, and that's that component as well. I agree. That's what I'm saying. They're not like what we thought they were going to be, right? You know what I mean? Like this big
Yeah.
game changer. Because now you're seeing stores. At least I'm seeing it locally here. They're still hiring people to do cash to be cashiers, right, and stock shelves and all that, right? So, like, I haven't seen a robot stocking shelves at the local grocery store yet. So, you know, it's like a lot of
Yeah.
stuff is still kind of in the novelty phase, right? It's just not. It's just you know what I mean. Like it's not as egregious as some would like to make it. I think a lot of people do it, especially high profile, like in the media and like social media, even like influencers. They hype it up like it is because it gets them clicks and views, right? What do they
Hmm.
call it? Doom scrolling, right? That's what it is. They're marketing towards the doom scrollers.
I
Click
see what you
my
mean. Yeah.
video and I'll tell you, scare you about the future. And it's like, well, it's not that scary, right? Like the janitor's not being replaced. Now, when the janitor starts getting replaced, then you can start worrying. But
Yeah.
that's not happening yet. The plumbers aren't being replaced. The electricians, and even in corporate America, yeah, you're not, you know, the white collar guys aren't really being replaced yet. And honestly, I don't know. I personally don't think that's going to happen. So I'll stop ranting. But I wanted to kind of point this out in regards to AI, um, and how robust it is, as some people claim. And listen, I'm not anti AI. I think it's great, especially for concepting and ideation. I think
Yeah,
it's
for
really
sure.
good. It's really great. But beyond that, but this is something I saw. It's by a 3D artist, um, and no one believed that this was not a photo. So you have to prove,
What?
yeah, this is not a photo. This is 3D.
Oh,
That's the setup right there. The lighting.
that's pretty sick.
There's the raw model. Yeah, unrendered. So, and I'm going, yeah, we're worried about AI, but I'm like, it still can't really do this.
Yeah, that's
You
amazing.
understand? Like, so yeah, I'm not worried yet. Sure, AI can do some cool stuff. I'm not knocking out it. Don't get me wrong. But we'll see. The future, you know, I think the future's still bright, but I think the key is to understand that it's a tool. So learn how to use a tool. It's a new hammer in your toolbox, right? So learn how to wield it properly. But yeah, I thought this was amazing, and I see stuff like this all the time. I'm subscribed to 80 Level, so check them out if you haven't subscribed to them. They love sharing all things 3D animation, and they always highlight independent 3D artists who are just doing cool stuff. And this is one of them. So uh, his name Plea Ruffins, at Ruffin is his handle. So check him out. This is done in Blender. And Blender is a free software. So you know,
Yeah.
it's like, look, I think there's learning to be an artist, learning how to do cool stuff is still a thing, and it still needs to happen. AI has not replaced awesomeness yet. So humans are awesome, and we do cool stuff. AI couldn't exist without us, right? Not the other way around. So I think we kind of tend to forget that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, that's all I got. I wanted to bring that up. There's another something I wanted to show. It's not really AI. It's 4D video, but I can't find the link. So
4D video. What does
yeah,
that mean?
it's basically interactive video.
Is that like Shrek 4D?
No, it's a website, but it's a team of artists and videographers who were able to use a technology called Gaussian splatter, which is the ability to scan environments and create a 3D space in 3D space, right? And
Gaussian
they're,
splatter?
they're doing it with video. So it's an actual 3D scanned video session, right? And then you can go in and navigate through it in real time as the video's playing, right? So it's pretty cool. I wish I could find it though. I thought I had it bookmarked, but
Is it this?
yeah, that's it. Video upgraded to 4D. Yep. So if you click on it, right,
But
you can interact with the space. You can go in and zoom in around it.
so what is? Oh,
Like click. It's what you were saying earlier with the Google Genie stuff, right? And saying like it's not really real time because you still gotta prompt it and all that, right? This one's a step better than that because this is video, but it was 3D. The environment was 3D scanned using video capture, and Gaussian splatter, right? Which is a way to render pixels more effectively, right? And are you there? Did you freeze up? It must have froze your computer because it's pretty uh intensive. Like your graphics card has to be pretty good to for it to work. So because it's like I said, it's an actual 3D video, so they called it 4D. Okay, so he had to jump out. I think it crashed his computer. So yeah, that's how uh, intense it is. Let's see. I'm gonna try and pull it up to show you guys, and hopefully it won't crash. It shouldn't crash mine. It didn't crash mine before, so let's see. So here it is. So this is the video, right? So I'm gonna click, and then it loads, and then I can yeah click to interact. So now I can. You all right? You
You
back?
have a better computer than me because as soon as I activate it, my entire setup crashed.
Yeah, because it's a listen. You got to have a pretty powerful graphics card for something like this, but it's no different than if you launch like Unreal Engine or something. Like it's gonna be. You see how I can
Yeah,
just.
but I have Unreal Engine, and
Oh,
this it
okay.
doesn't act
Yeah,
like
but you don't
this.
have an environment loaded up. But yeah, so you can play around this. It's I'm gonna grab the link here. I'll put it in the.
So, am I to assume that this is an actual video?
Yeah, it's a video. It's not a 3D render. It's not a like he's not a 3D model or like this is a person that they recorded
Right.
and made a video. But what they did was they recorded the video and did a 3D scan of the environment of the video. So they did using Gaussian splatter. Like you see how the edges are kind of feathers here.
Oh, okay.
That's how you can kind of tell because Gaussian splatter tends to look like that on the fringes, right? When because they never scan like in. I mean, they could scan a huge environment, but this is actually pretty big for what it is. But yeah, so you can like go like you know, so it's pretty cool. This is like first level stuff, right? The fact that you can kind of just rotate around. And I think you can change how you interact with it. Like you can rotate around, but you can also like kind of scroll.
Yeah, it looks cool, but I'm curious to how because sometimes the man rotates with the camera and sometimes it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like the perspective shifts properly.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of weird.
sometimes you could tell that it's a video.
Yeah, I think it kind of throws you off because my guess is the video of him and the dog are real, but I kind
Yeah,
of
I
wonder if the rest of it is 3D. Like a three. I mean, it is 3D, but you know what I mean. Like it's like,
yeah, I get what you're saying. It still looks cool. I'm just like,
and there's one that was really cool. I think it was this one. Let's see if it loads. Yes, they're performing, and there's audio. Let me see if it loads the audio. Almost there. Yeah, I got a Titan in this sucker, so it can still handle some pretty
Start to fall. I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn starts to fall, I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn starts to fall, I miss you most of all, my darling. When autumn starts to fall, I miss you most
kind of
of all, my darling.
I just think, wow, that's
When
kind of cool.
autumn
I don't know.
starts to fall.
What's the use case, right? I'm guessing
hmm.
some type of VR experience, like digital concerts, remote concerts, right?
I mean, maybe. I mean, if you're at a concert, I
Where
mean,
but you can click your screen and kind of interact with it a little bit. Maybe, but see, like this is obviously recorded, so then after the fact, you can throw in links in here. Probably
yeah.
you can click on stuff and make it react. So I don't know, it's kind of fun. I mean, because it's video, it's not a 3D rendered in the sense of 3D models and all. These are real people that were recorded and scanned in real time as a video. So it's kind of instant animation. Everything's there, right? So pretty cool. I think it's kind of awesome. I thought it was fascinating. So kind of just like there is some real cool cutting edge stuff that's out there. And a lot of times though, it's kind of like what is it gonna do though? Like what does this do
Yeah.
to, like, I could see this being used for games. Like what if you made a real world game with real people, right? And then you were able to do this 3D splatter environment, right? And then go in and make it interactive in other ways, right? Um, that could be, you know, fascinating. Um, or combine this with the genie stuff, and maybe it's you start with a real environment, but then the AI generates the rest of it as you go through it, right? Like, so I don't know. There's a lot of things, Um, it's just a matter of like use cases, right? So this is taking forever to load. So
don't don't destroy your computer trying to load that.
quit while I'm ahead. But yeah, I just wanted to share that because I thought that's pretty fascinating. I
Yeah, it
found
looks
it
cool.
more intriguing than the Genie 3 stuff, to be honest. So that was pretty cool. So I'll check it out. I'll put the link in the comments. So if you want to check it out for yourself. But fair warning, you need a fast computer. You need a good
Yeah.
solid graphics card, else it's probably going to be very slow, and it might even crash. Yeah, that's all I have for today.
Really?
Yeah, you have anything else?
You didn't want to talk about Naked Gun?
Oh, I completely forgot about
The
Naked
thing in the thing in the title?
title. We got so caught up with all this AI talk. Yeah. Speaking of AI, Naked Gun.
Yeah, yeah.
Went to see it. Well, I went to see it, and I loved it. It was actually really good. Um, Liam Neeson is funny. He did a great job of playing Frank Drebin Jr. Right. Definitely had the same tone in the movie. I like that it wasn't a reboot. I like that it's a continuation. So he's the next generation, right? And so everything was current day. They poked fun at like, electric cars and Tesla, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was funny though. It was tasteful. It wasn't. There was no. A lot of people are kind of afraid. Oh, it's going to be woke or something. It isn't. There's nothing like that in it at all. Pamela Anderson is in it. She was actually really good. She was funny. There was some great scenes. There's some scenes that will make you give the side eye. Like, because I was like, what is? There's a scene that happens with a snowman, and the
Oh
entire
no.
time I'm like, what is happening? Like, what is this, right? But it's hilarious. You're gonna laugh. It
So
just it
is it funny on the scale of funniness? How funny is it in comparison to
to
one,
the
two, and
original.
three? Yeah.
It's not as funny as the original show or the first movie, but it
Okay.
is as funny as the subsequent movies.
Okay.
So,
That's fair.
and
Also, speaking of
honestly,
AI,
it's funnier than the subsequent movies, in my opinion. So yeah, because it's kind of, because I think a lot of it is more because the original movies, like the first one was instant classic. The second and third one were okay, and I think part of the problem was a lot of the jokes didn't land as well, and many of them were kind of current day, but maybe they were current day, but kind of played out at the time, like so they didn't land as well. Um, so the first movie is always seen, in my opinion, as like the movie, right? The
yeah,
rest,
yeah.
they're funny, but they're just not as
I,
not
I
as funny.
like the intro scene in the third movie where they're catching all the babies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
It's
that.
like okay, And same thing. Like it's kind of silly and crazy. I didn't find it as funny though. It's just that's
Okay.
like this, like they're it's almost like they're trying to top themselves with more outlandish jokes, right?
Well, I mean, why? I mean, why wouldn't they?
Understandable, yeah, it's understandable. It's just I just don't think they were landing as well. Um, you know, even rewatching them because I rewatched them recently, like I think it was last year or something. I rewatched all of them, and yeah, I was like, yeah, the first movie is a classic. It's perfect, and the rest is kind of like, yeah, it's okay. It's good. There's some good and bad, right? There's scenes where you're like, oh, that was kind of funny, and then there's others like, whatever, like not as funny.
Yeah.
Overall, they're all hilarious to watch because they're just so outlandish. Um, but this one, yeah, this one I think, struck the right notes. It's like I said, it's not as funny as the first movie, um, just because I saw the first movie and I'm gonna always hold it in a higher regard, right? Now, if you're new to the whole franchise and this is your first introduction, this is a great first introduction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it really is. You're gonna be like, oh, and you might even say this one's gonna be your favorite, and you might say, oh, the old ones are okay, but they're not as funny as this one, right? You might, you know, your sensibilities. I mean, like a younger audience or just someone who's never,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they might feel that way, right? And that's fine. It's kind of like Will Smith playing the genie. There's gonna be
yeah.
younger people that are gonna say that's my genie, right? He was awesome. I don't care about the other one, right? And that's okay because he was a good genie. He did give a good performance, right? So this movie it's hilarious. It's funny. There's a lot of great gags. It does feel like the original movie it struck the right tone with it. So it does feel
Right.
like a Naked Gun movie. It really does. And yeah, it just landed well. Like I said, it wasn't like gut punch funny, but there was some really great scenes and great moments where you're like, okay, that's hilarious. That's actually pretty funny, and they had a lot of great running gags, like the coffee, like every scene he had a coffee and it's, it's like, yeah, cop, he's gonna have coffee, right?
And
So,
donuts.
yeah, and surprisingly, I don't even remember seeing any donut gags until
Oh, really?
now, a real treat they gave at the end of the movie is they replayed the intro to Police Squad. So that was kind of nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they replayed in
That's
the
funny.
closing credits, and so and at the end of Police Squad, it ends at the donut shop.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that was there, and then I was like, oh, this is like because I was getting ready to leave, and then I see it, I'm like, oh, I'm staying watching. So I
Yeah,
watched
yeah, yeah.
it again. So that was nice. I was like, so they gave proper like uh, credence to
Tribute.
and tribute, yeah, tribute. And so I think it was very respectful of the original. They did. It wasn't some kind of deconstruction or anything. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
straight
It was
slap
just Police Squad.
comedy. Yeah, it was Police Squad, and it was funny. And like I said, Liam Neeson was great. He really was. I was a little leery about it, like especially in the first trailer. It was kind of like, oh, okay, and like that scene where he dresses as a little girl. That's like the opening scene to the movie, and it's actually a funnier scene than we saw in the trailer. Um,
Oh, that's a rarity.
yeah, there's some funny stuff in there, uh, but the part where he's like shows off his underwear. It's still not that funny, but in the movie. But everything that happens before that is actually pretty hilarious. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just wackiness. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. So I give it like a B plus. I think it's a great movie. It's worth watching. It's worth going to the theaters. If it's still in the theaters, I don't know if it is, but
I
when
mean, you
you
only saw it what last weekend?
was it last weekend? Yeah, okay, so it should still be.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, it's funny. It's a great, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's a comedy. It's slapstick. It's silly, you know, and they really tried to make you laugh, and they succeeded. So
that's good. I was a bit hesitant, but I think the trailer sold me because the trailer was funny, and all the marketing around it has been pretty funny.
yeah, I think he's done a good job of marketing it. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you don't see the poster, no AI was used in the making of this poster, and he's got like 10 fingers on.
that's actually pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like it's relevant, right? And that's the staple of the Naked Gun movies is they were always like relevant, and of the times, right? They reflected the times and made fun of it. Um, so yeah, it does that very well. There's I think it's in one of the trailers a scene where he's driving the electric car and he like wrecks the charging stations and then he pulls a hole out of the wall of a prison and there's a prison.
Oh
it's
my god!
Yeah, it's a funny scene. It's not bad. Um, what happened before that is actually funnier. So go see it to see what happened before that. But yeah,
Okay,
it's a there's a lot going on and like I said, a lot of reference, cultural references to like current day, and not just like in the news or whatever, but online, social media. There's a lot of references.
oh, I'm sure.
Pokes fun at. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, and like I said, Liam Neeson surprised me. Listen, he nails that deadpan humor. He really does, and it's great. He's really great. I actually want to see it again, to be honest, because I know there's probably some things I missed, like little smaller things, because they do have
Yeah,
like smaller gags in there too. You know, so it's like visual gags, in the background.
right.
So it's like I'm sure there's stuff I missed, and that's what makes it fun is that there might be some things you missed and you watch it again and go, oh, I didn't even see that last time, right? Like, so
That's
that,
always a good
that's
feeling when a movie
yeah,
makes you want to rewatch it.
that's a staple of the Naked Gun movies too. It's like there's gags even beyond the obvious gag, right? There's little stuff here and there, like you know. So yeah, good movie. Go see it. Highly recommend it. Um, so I think you guys will like it. So, but yeah,
Nice.
and my wife loved it. So if she loved it. It has to be good, right?
That's how it works.
Just kidding. But yeah, it was a good movie. So yeah, thanks for reminding me. I almost forgot. I went on my
I
tirade
know. It's like, oh man.
AI gone, AI evil, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, but that's now that's all I have. That's it. You got anything?
uh, no, that's it.
All right, so we're gonna call it a day. It's we're coming on noon, so just in time actually. Thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate it. As always, please go to our site, sign up to our email list if you haven't yet. Get your free digital comic. Right now, I'm working with an artist. We're getting some pages done for the book, um, more pages done, and yeah, and I kind of shifted gears, and I do have a new artist because I think this artist, his style and everything is aligns closer to what I'm trying to do. So I think you guys love it even better than what you've seen so far. So I'm looking forward to revealing more pages as they get done. And like I said, we plan on launching sometime in September. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. And like I said, join our email list, and we'll make our announcements there as well. So and get your free 12-page digital comic. All right. And yeah, that's it for today. Have a super galactic Saturday.
We'll see you around.